Schools are looking a lot different right now. A lot of kids are not back in school buildings, right? So there are big questions about whether or not we're going to even have fall sports this year, which make club sports even more important, right? So Caris Sports Foundation was co-founded by Raquel McNabb to raise awareness and pay for youth sports programs for low-income families. So Raquel and Donovan McNabb join us this morning. Great to see both of you. Wish you were inside here with us like you were last year. It's always great talking with both of you, but I'm glad we can bring your message here this morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And let me start with you, Donovan, if I can. You know, we've had some parents and some kids on this show over the past few weeks worried that they're not going to have a high school football season. And I think about, especially the linemen, right? You don't really have a club football. And if you get these kids that aren't able to go out there and show their stuff on tape, and they're thinking maybe they're bubble kids that might get a scholarship, I mean, they may lose out on quite a lot that they've worked a lot, really hard for, don't you think?
Well, it's a tough decision for a lot of high schools in the area to come up with a decision. I think at this particular point, if you ask me personally, I think they should play football. But the problem is the things that you brought up. Parents are complaining a little bit, which leads to now administrators in high schools to come up with a tough decision. You're starting to see a lot of these freshmen schedules being cut short, where they're playing now 3 to 4 games, and it's unfair to those freshmen. And the varsity right now is all set for 8 or 10 games or so during the regular season. But you got to think about those 2021s, those seniors. If they're not able to compete this year, if the offer sheet is not kind of loaded with teams that they can possibly choose from, I think that's when you start to individualize a lot of these players by possibly showing their workouts over the internet. Then they can submit those to different schools, and then their game film and highlights from Huddle to try to get these kids recruited, because that's what it's all about. It's all about these kids and having an opportunity to fulfill their dream to move to the next level.
Yeah, and you know how hard you have to work to even get in the conversation of somebody wanting to give you a scholarship. So Raquel, I mean, that brings us now, if we lose a lot of these fall sports, I know soccer is one of them, and so there's club soccer out there, but a lot of families, I put 2 girls through club sports. It's not cheap to do. Unfortunately, I have a good job and I was able to do it, and you're helping out with that. How?
Yes, so we raise funds basically for kids to play sports. We cover their uniforms, travel, fees, anything. So they basically fill out an application on our website, carisportsfoundation.org, and we provide them with the funds to do those things.
How are you seeing the sports change now? I know that I still am on some email lists for volleyball, and I know they're going to try to get going again here. What is the input you've had from some of your clubs? Are they going to try to get going here pretty soon?
A lot of clubs are actually beginning to phase in. I think the traditional season is not what it used to be. So now where we were able to have our funds set aside for certain periods, now I think we have to just kind of open it up, where we're like, well, this club's going to go at this time, while this club may not be going at this time. So we've had to change our schedules and how teams are, going to get their funds, just because clubs are just doing things a lot differently now.
And coming up next month, you're having an online auction to raise more money. You were saying you've got about $30,000 right now to give out. What's going on in September?
We've actually given out approximately $30,000 this year in funds to kids.
Wow.
So we're at the point now where we need to start raising funds again. So we're going to have this auction. It's an online auction, sports memorabilia, vacations, things like that, and basically go online and sign up for the auction, or sign up for the auction and hope people spend money.
Right. We encourage everybody to spend money. I'll
Absolutely.
get how do I find you online, Raquel?
Sorry, I just didn't hear what you said.
How do we get in touch with the fundraiser? Where do we find it?
Okay, so carisportsfoundation.org is right there. If you want to go on right now and donate, we have a Donate Now button. And then the auction site will probably mid-September, you'll see a lot more about the auction and being able to sign up then.
Well, good luck to you. Donovan, I got to hit you with one last question here. I was just talking about watching Kyler Murray throw a ball. Does he throw a pretty ball or what? That thing is tight. It's always exactly where it needs to be.
Well, you know what, the thing about Kyler Murray, the thing that makes him special is he's a winner. So many times we evaluate quarterbacks of their footwork and their release, their arm strength. The things that stick out about Kyler Murray is his leadership and the fact that he's a winner. You have to think about it. When he came out of high school, I don't think he lost a game in high school. won 3 or 4 state championships. He was a 5-star athlete, was recruited by Texas A&M, went to start at Texas A&M as a freshman, ended up transferring to Oklahoma and won at Oklahoma as well. And so a draft pick in the top 5 in baseball. So when you talk about him throwing a pretty ball, he better throw a pretty ball playing baseball and being a top 5 draft pick. But you know, the thing about him, again, that makes it exciting, especially for all you Arizona Cardinals fans, you have something to look for over a decade. A guy that will continue to evolve at the position. They're building around him on the offensive end. And defensively, you see what they were able to do by signing Budda Baker to secure that back end of the secondary. So at this particular point, for all Cardinals fans, you at least have something to look forward to this year.
And we're going to have a football season. I'm so excited. Donovan Raquel, great talking with you. Let's get you back here in the studio again for your next fundraiser. Hopefully that's going to be soon. And I love what you're doing with this because I think you're making a real impact with a lot of young people. So thanks for being here this morning, and thanks for what you do.
Thank you.
Take care,
Thank
guys.
you.